Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another unboxing for the Here to Slay game. This by the Unstable Games, guys, the makers of Unstable Unicorns. So this is the Berserkers and Necromancers pack. So we also, before we had the Druid and Warriors pack. That's not right. It was Druids and I forgot what the other one added was called. Yeah, Druids and Warriors. That's right. Added onto that one, this is a different one, so not required to play the game at all, but it adds a new class, adds some new types, and follows all the same type of conventions. Each class is represented by, sort of like a species or a type of animal. So here on the top we have our Necromancers, which are going to be dogs or various dog-like creatures, and the bottom, the Berserkers are going to be lions or giant cats of sorts. Add some different new mechanics. So we're going to go ahead and jump in and see what we got here. So look on the back. It's just going to show us we got 31 standard size cards, because we're going to get not only the character cards, but we'll also get new items and magic cards and modifiers. We're going to get our 2 oversized party leader cards, 2 oversized monsters, so we get 2 new monsters, and 1 more rule book. So let's take a look at that rule book. There's not a whole lot to it, because it's assuming you already know how to play. So it's just going to pop up. It just kind of gives a brief rundown at what the different classes are. Like the Berserkers excel at combat with their extreme strength, ferocious might. Some have the ability to have multiple items equipped to them. The equipment still takes actions to do. And then the Necromancers use dark rituals to gain advantages. Tend to have lower roll cost than other classes, but many of these cards require a cost of another kind in order to use them. So you gain bonuses fairly for cheap to begin with, but you're going to be paying some sort of consequence for that cheap effect. And what you'll see we mean when we actually jump in. And then the back is just mentioning, hold this down so it doesn't want to say, just mentioning, you can go to the Unstable Unicorns website and click into Here to Slay. You can create your own different character cards and stuff to use if you like. So that's really fun that they let you do that, like party leaders. Alright, so we got our white backs. We're going to jump into our first party leader. We have leader of the Berserkers. The orange cards is the Raging Manticore. She's got a scorpion tail, his bat wings. Otherwise, there's a giant lion with a flaming mane, which is definitely cool. He's got his little symbol on his belt, which is awesome. Which is a double-sided axe, which is what he's carrying. So each time you slay a monster card, draw 2 cards. So they're really focusing on winning with that slaying aspect versus collecting a team. Alright, then we're going to look at their cards, or the different characters. So of course they're going to be the little small ones. We have, and I'll zoom up a little bit more on these, the Gruesome Gladiator, who's a leopard. So you have to roll 10 plus, look at each other player's hand. Choose a card from that player's hand and add it to your hand. So he gets, if he beats you, he gets to take your weapon. He can hold 2 items, which is nice. So I think the Warriors also had a lot of stuff with holding multiple items. But I think watch more of these guys do, or a bunch of them do. So we have the Rabid Beast, which is like a panther. It's got dual axes. 6 plus, sacrifice any number of cards, then destroy the same number of cards. So yeah, they're costing effect there. The Vicious Wildcat is a tiger. 12 plus, slay any monster card, then end your turn. Now that's pretty powerful, but you get 12 plus, you know, you gotta get pretty lucky or have some good combos set up, but still, that's actually really awesome. The Meowton, who is looks like a snow leopard, a patch on his eye. 6 plus, sacrifice a card, plus 5 to all your rolls until the end of your turn. Now if you use this one, Alright there. Sorry about that. Camera went off. So I was saying, you have +6, you get +5 value roll. So if you could use this to sacrifice a card, and then combine them with, if you happen to have the other one, that would be a lot easier to get. Again, you're drawing a huge deck, and the fact you're going to get those two specific cards might not happen that often, but still, it's pretty cool. I'm sure other cards have other effects similar to that. We have the Annihilator. So he looks just like an old grizzled lion. I love that his sword has like the chain attached to it. So it's +6. Search the discard pile for a challenge card and add it to your hand. Here we have Unbridled Furies. This is like a lioness. +8, destroy hero card. If that hero is a berserker, you may spend an extra action point this turn. We have Brawling Spirit. So this looks like maybe it's a Lynx, I think, possibly. +9. Each player, including you with more than 3 cards in their party, must sacrifice a card. And then our final hero card is the Royal Guard. Is another lion. +9. Choose a class. Return every hero card of that class to its respective player's hand. Yeah, so that's some nice power moves. Just take control of the field. Makes sense. They're berserkers. They're kind of a little bit unpredictable. They're also going to attack everybody. So our other class are, of course, the Necromancers. So I love their little symbol there. It is a crossbones inside a flame, but it's 2 actual bones. Because their dog is a stick and a bone for a summoning. And this is the Gnawing Dread. It's a jackal. Famous for being associated with Lord of the Underworld Anubis. So once per turn on your turn, you may spend 2 action points to search a discard pile for a card and add it to your hand. So 2 of your 3 action points might be a lot, but that could gain you a great advantage on a following turn. So we're going to see a lot more interesting abilities like that, plus some little puppers. Everyone loves puppers. So we have the Beholden Retriever, who's a golden retriever. So +5, would sacrifice a hero card. Search the discard pile for a hero or item card, add it to your hand, then play it immediately. So low cost, costs you a hero, but you get a different hero or an item. And that's actually really powerful because an item could definitely give you some extra bonuses you need. But that hero is like, oh, I have 2 rangers. Toss a ranger and get a different character. Or maybe one that you lost in a previous turn. Or maybe lost to one of your other cards here. So Shadow Saint, who's a Saint Bernard. Is throwing like a magical fireball. +5+, discard a modifier card. No other player can play modifier cards until the end of your turn. So if you have multiple, it's a great way to keep anyone from messing with your game. Or even if you only have 1, it helps them stop. We have the Hollow Husk, who's a husky, who has 1 white eye, 1 black eye. 6+, look at another player's hand, choose a magic card. If they have one, and add it to your hand, you may play it immediately. I love this playing immediately stuff. Makes them kind of worth a possible sacrifice for some things. We have the Bone Collector, which why can't I think of what kind of dog it is? It's not a pug. But I know my brain just can't think of what kind of dog that is, though. But we have 7+. Sacrifice an item card. Search the discard pile for a hero card and add it to your hand, then play it immediately. So you can get rid of an item to get a hero. So if you have too many items. We have the Perfect Vessel. That looks like a chihuahua. 4+. Sacrifice this card, then steal a hero card. That's awesome. a little Chiba. Bark Hexer. 7+, discard a card. Each other player must discard 2 cards. It costs you 1, but it costs everyone else 2. The Boston Terror. It's a Boston Terrier. +7, choose a player. That player may give you a card from their hand. If they do not, you may choose 2 cards from the discard pile and add them to your hand. So you get a possible random card. If they don't want to, you get to choose 2 cards. Which could, with all these cards you're discarding and sacrificing stuff, that's not even terribly bad either. If you're not limiting your opponent's hand, you could be picking up cards that you've been getting rid of on purpose. And the Grim Pupper, which I'm not sure what type of dog this is at all. It looks, the little mouth looks familiar, but I can't think of it. But it's always a little Grim Reaper. 8+, each player, including yourself, must sacrifice a card. Just be able to do that just to help limit the game out. And since you're activating it, you know if you can, if you have the stuff worth sacrificing. Alright, so now we're going to look at some of our item cards. So, of course, we're going to get our Necromancer's Mask. Every class so far has had a mask. So the equipped hero card is considered a Necromancer instead of its original. And then we'll get the Berserker, which is the same thing, except it turns him into a Berserker. Really nice thing to have, just that way if you get that, you can maybe trade them around or whatever. New card is called a Goblet of Caffeination. If you unsuccessfully roll to use the equipped hero's card effect, you may sacrifice this card, then use that effect again immediately. So if you really need that effect to happen, it gives you a second shot. The biggest ring ever, to go with the other rings. Each time you roll to use the equipped hero's effect, you may discard up to 3 cards. For each discarded, +2 to your roll. So that's great. So you get up to +6. And then if you like that one Berserker, you need +12 to slay. Also, now you have half your roll right there. Yeah, you have to discard 3 cards. But 3 cards that have half your roll already taken care of, not to mention if you have other bonuses. Definitely helps. And then if your combination with the 2 classes, if you are a Berserker and you use that, if you do manage to slay them, then your Berserker leader lets you draw 2 more cards anyhow. So in the end, you're only losing 1 card for that, and you slay a monster, so you get that bonus. So a good synergy right in there. We have a Silver Lining. If you unsuccessfully roll to use the equipped hero's effect, +2 to all your rolls for the rest of your turn. Again, that could be really helpful. We have some cursed items. Dragon's Bile. If you unsuccessfully roll to use the equipped hero's card effect, sacrifice the hero. So that could be a nice one to really prevent your opponent from trying to use an ability. And Soulbow Grimoire. Roll using the equipped hero's effect cost 2 action points. Again, help limits them using their stuff. We have some magic cards. We have 2 copies of Lightning Labrys, which I think is supposed to be play on like lightning, lightning Labradors. I'm guessing. Kind of weird because it's like looks like a Berserker. Discard up to 3 cards. For each card discarded, choose a player. That player must sacrifice a hero card. So you can select up to the other 3 players, and they each make them sacrifice. Just if you're willing to sacrifice some of your stuff. And then, of course, we have a Necromancer card. Mass sacrifice, discard your hand, then draw 5 cards. We're going to get our Necromancer challenge card. So you have to have a Necromancer. You may play this card when another player attempts to play a hero, item, or magic card. Challenge that card, +3 to your roll. And then the same thing, of course, with the Berserker. And then we have 2 brand new modify cards. So we have a +2, -2. Play this card after any player, including you, rolls the die. +2 or -2 to that roll. If you are attacking a monster, +4 to that roll instead. So that'll actually help you very well if you're trying to take out one of the monsters. And then the other one is a +7, which is incredible. To play this card, after any player, including yourself, rolls a die, discard your hand, +7 to that roll. But if that +7 nets you enough stuff, it might be worth it. Or if you've done other effects, maybe some of these Berserkers and Necromancers, we've discarded a couple cards here or there anyhow, it might be worth playing that +7. And you're only discarding like 1 or 2 cards. It does limit you what you can do in later turns, but still cool. And then finally, we have our black cards, which are our brand new monsters. So we're going to have one for kind of representing each class. So you have the Reptilian Riptor, which requires a Berserker and another hero. So if you get a less than 6, you sacrifice 2 hero cards. If you get higher than 7, you slay the monster. Then your bonus is each time you roll to attack a monster, +2 to your roll. And then the other one is the Doombringer, which requires a Necromancer and a hero. You get under 4, discard your hand. Higher than 8, slay the monster. Each time you sacrifice a card, you may choose a card from the discard pile and add it to your hand. That's actually not bad. You can sacrifice a card, then you can pull a different card out. That's cool. But yeah, one requires one or the other. So you're only going to put these 2 monsters in your pool of monster cards if you're playing with these 2 classes. Alright, so that is what we have for the Here to Slay Berserker Necromancer expansion pack. So the other thing I want to show off really quick is I did do another video on the Here to Slay mini vinyl series. You can check that out. So in it, you have one from every other class. And there's 2 mystery figures, which one is for the Necromancer, one's for the Berserker. I'm not going to pull out the figures. If you want to see them, you can go watch the video. But they did have 2 cards in there. So all the other characters that are in here were already from the base game or from the expansion pack. From the hero or druids. So if you bought all them, then you would already have all these cards just with alternate artwork. But then they also came with the 2 secret ones are your Berserker and Necromancer, which I thought were just going to be alternate artworks for this set, but they're not. They're brand new cards. I just want to show them off specifically in this video, so that if you bought this and you're like, oh, I really want these other 2 things, you're going to want to go buy one of these vinyl miniseries. You can check out my video, which will show you exactly where to find these 2 cards or 2 miniatures if you haven't if there's a box that hasn't been dug through yet. Otherwise, you're kind of on your own. But our Berserker we're going to get is the Reigning King, who has 11+. Choose a class, destroy all heroes of that class. And then we have the Howl of the Dead. He says +7, discard a hero or item card. If you discard a hero, destroy a hero card. If you discard an item, add a hero from the discard pile to your hand. So definitely neat extra effects to give you 2 more bonus characters that you wouldn't have had otherwise. And I think this is also should bring up so that every character with these 2 has the same number of characters in each class, because the Druid and Necromancer had bonus cards. You could have gotten, like, if you bought the Kickstarter, they would have had 2 other bonus cards, so there's potentially to have the same amount. But I just wanted to show them off because they're not in the box, and if you watched my other video before this, I was hoping they were just going to be like alt art cards for this set, and not brand new ones. Like, I thought they're going to be just different artwork cards for cards that are in the set, but they're actually 100% new cards. So if you want to have the complete collection, you have to get those 2 from that vinyl miniature box. Alright, that's all I have for this video. See you guys later. Bye.